Alright, let's take a look at this target costing problem, and I'll read it to you. The marketing department at Cleveland Furniture Manufacturing has an idea for a new product, and it's expected to have a 6-year life. After conducting market research, the company found that the product could sell for $800 per unit in the first 4 years and $650 for the last 2 years. And here we see table data of the number of units that they expect to sell by year. Okay, now keep reading here. It says that the per unit variable selling costs are estimated at $140 throughout the product's life. The total fixed selling and administrative cost over the 6 years are expected to be $3.7 million. Now that's in total over 6 years. And they're looking for a profit margin of 15% of the selling price per unit. So Part A asks us to compute the life cycle target cost to manufacture the product. Part B says if the product cost $430 in the first year, then what's the most it can cost in the remaining 5 years? And again, we're trying to hit that 15% selling price per unit. And then Part C asks us to assume that the company engineers indicate that the expected manufacturing cost is $340. What could we do to reduce the cost? All right, so let me slide down a little bit, and I'll slide back up if we need the information. But the first thing we want to do is compute what the overall revenue is. Okay, so we take the units of sales that was projected above, and we multiply it times the price that relates to the years. It was $800 for the first 4 years, $650. Multiply that out, add it all up. We come up with $15.465 as the total revenues on sales of $19,800 per unit. Now they told us that the variable selling cost is going to be $140 each. So of the $15,465 of sales revenue, we're going to subtract that, and then we're also going to subtract that $3.7 million of fixed selling and administrative costs. Let me slide a little bit, and what that leaves us with, well, we also have to subtract out the required profit, 15% of the sales value. So the total sales $15,465. That's $15,465,000 times 15%. We're expecting a profit of $2,319. All right. So if we have sales less variable selling costs less the fixed selling and administrative cost and the required profit, then all we have left is the manufacturing cost. And that tells us what the target manufacturing cost needs to be over the life of this product. All right, if we divide that by the 19,800 units, we're able to come up with a target manufacturing cost. And that is the average, by the way, an average manufacturing cost, a target cost of $337.03. All right, now let's keep on looking at this a little bit more. What we know for Part B is that the total manufacturing cost is the $667,350 we calculated here. We subtract out the first year's cost if it was $430 times 4,000 units. And by the way, we are assuming that sales and production are equal, right? We're not trying to build inventory. So sales and production 4,000 units. That would cost us $1,720,000. What that leaves us is a target manufacturing cost remaining for the other years of $4,953 divided by the number of units left, which would be the 19,800 less the 4,000. That gives us 15,800. And what we see is if the first year target cost, let me rephrase that, if the first year target cost was $430, the rest of the years it has to average $313.50. Okay, and then Part C is what could we do differently if costs are too high. The engineers could redesign the product to make it less costly. I mean, obviously that's what they have to do, right? Specifically, how do we do it? We don't know. We're not engineers. But obviously, you want to think about reducing material and conversion costs. Maybe you could redesign the product. You could perhaps use a Kaizen costing technique. Anything's fair game, right? But you certainly want to work to reduce the cost. Okay, and that's this problem, everyone. So I hope you found this presentation on target costing worthwhile.